Well, hey everybody, I'm Eddie Provident. This is DK Pittsburgh Sports. You're watching Steelers Today. With me, as always, is Dale Lolley. No, I'm not Dale Lolley, and I'm here to help you because you're terrible at this. This show is brought to you by BetQL, the only app that you're going to need to get a jump on your sports book and get the advantage that you want for your betting. But what is going on right now? They scan over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet advantage over all of your bets for all major sports. Hey, and you know what else it does? It covers everything. Baseball, football, hockey, every single sport, every single bet that you can think of. You don't need your phone for this one. Their algorithms look at everything, historical data, but weather, what is matchups, performance, anything that you can think of, their algorithms cover it. Go to try.betql.co/DKPS to get started now, or if you just download the BetQL app, you make your life easier. Use the discount code DKPS at checkout. Right now, if you use DKPS at checkout, you get 25% off any subscription. And if you use the BetMGM offer, you get $200 towards any wager, whether it wins or loses. BetQL's algorithm went 13-2 on 5-star bets in week 1 of the NFL season between Thursday and Sunday. So make sure that you take advantage of BetQL now. All the information is in the description below. Check out the link try.betql.co/DKPS.
Hello and welcome to Steelers Today from historic Lambeau Field. And Dale, the season's starting to feel like history.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, you could say that. We've seen them start slowly before. I mean, if you remember back in 2013, they were 0-4.
In London. And that was the most miserable locker room I've ever covered in my life. Yes. By a mile.
You know, rebounded that season. Yes, it was an 8-8 season. But, you know, they're not going to give up on anything here. I do think there is something to when they talk about, you know, some of this being some fundamental mistakes that they're making, you know, but they just keep happening. That's the problem.
See, that's the thing that gets me. You can take even like this, a multiple game span, and say, I'm going to carve this up into little bits and pieces, and I'm going to take this little thing, and this is a good thing, and this over here is a bad thing. The problem is, all that matters
are the results.
Are the results and the cumulative result that ends up on a big old scoreboard up there. And right now, the Steelers just aren't getting results in any sustained fashion. And now, Dale, it's on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you know, I looked it up at one point in the first half, actually early in the third quarter. And the Packers had run 20 more plays than the Steelers had. The offense couldn't stay on the field. You're playing Aaron Rodgers. You can't make those you can't have 3 and outs. You can't make mistakes. You can't have fumbles deep in your own end zone.
Or you're playing Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually kind of what happened here. Yeah. I mean, you're playing. They decided, the Packers did, to not an extreme extent, but to some extent, that they were going to run the ball.
Yeah, and the Steelers, you know, were kind of daring them to do it with some light boxes, and they did it, and the Steelers weren't able to stop it. You know, if you stop those and get them behind the chains a little bit, then you get Rodgers into more 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 8s, instead of 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, things that they could convert. They could throw or run in those situations.
Easily, routinely.
Easy pickings there. You know, at one point they were 7 of 11 early in the fourth quarter on 3rd downs. You know, that's just not sustainable against that kind of quarterback.
At the same time, you know, they don't make excuses. You know, we just spoke now with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, and you can see them coming in there kind of dragging and whatever else here. And you know they're hurt. You know they're not anywhere near 100%. TJ refused to put a percentage marker on it, and Highsmith was downplaying it as well. But there was no pressure from guys who tend to bring pressure. There wasn't anything up front really other than Cam. Why? You know, there's still no Stephon Tuitt. It's still not the defense yet.
It's not the defense. I'm not going to make excuses for that. They need to be better. These are guys that are you know, that went out there. This pretty much the same group that went out there in Buffalo and played really well. They could have played much better than they did in this game. Watt was getting a ton of attention. If he's getting that much attention where they're doubling him on every play, somebody else has to get to the quarterback.
And that's not to let the Steelers' offense off the hook. They're more than anything defined at this point by an inability to get downfield. they tried sometimes.
They did on the first drive. It's just, they actually had a bit of a running game today. I thought Najee Harris got positive yardage I think there was only one time where he was stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So he was getting positive yards.
Like one of those real bad stuffs? Yeah. You actually made mention of it in the press box when it happened.
The first time that it happened in the game. So they were getting positive runs. They just couldn't sustain anything after that opening drive. And then it's just shooting yourselves in the foot, running fourth down plays that Roethlisberger throws the ball behind the sticks and guys aren't able to get there. The kind of things that can't happen. Those are mistakes that high school teams make.
Yeah, and as you might have guessed, since we haven't brought it up yet, we're saving the whole second segment for that flag. Welcome back to Steelers Today, and Dale, it's hard to ignore in a 10-point game that there was one 10-point swing that probably shouldn't have been one.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't seen a definitive replay of that. I know there's some stuff out there. I know Gene Steratore, the former official who analyzes games for CBS, as their officials analyst, said that it didn't appear that Joe Hayden or Minkah Fitzpatrick were offside. Joe Hayden was, of course, called for it. Whether it was or wasn't, it's what was called, and you got to live with it. It was almost like they were penalized for being too successful in that respect. And there were two guys in the NFL typically don't have an opportunity to block a kick like that.
So when they both come and they both time it as well as Hayden and Fitzpatrick did, there's a visual element to it, to the official, really to us, to the human eye, that the moment the flag flies, you think, oh, yeah, they were offside.
They had to be offside.
Yeah.
Get in there that quickly.
How could you have pulled that? It reminds me a lot of when Troy would time his jumps through the line of scrimmage, the ones that all ended up on his Hall of Fame splices. And you would think, oh, there's no way. But then when you super-duper slow-mo it, you saw that Troy just timed it perfectly. I guess the biggest issue that I have with this, Dale, is that it's not reviewable in a league where everything is reviewable. What could possibly be the thinking there? Because, look, offside very clearly can lead to points.
Yeah, I don't know the reasoning for that. I know they don't want the game bogged down by reviews, but
it's too late for that.
It's a scoring play. Realistically, if one team scores, you should be able to look at that play. You should be able to diagnose and look at every bit of that play to make sure that everything was okay with it. A huge turn of events.
Yeah, scoring play alone should qualify it for that. I mean, where you can make an exception. Look, we don't review offside. We don't want to. But this was a scoring play.
It was a scoring play, yeah.
And then you give Aaron Rodgers the ball back, and he puts up another 3 before halftime, and there's the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a huge swing there. And obviously the Steelers had seen something on tape where they thought that they could exploit that.
Overloading to that side?
Overloading that side. Again, give Danny Smith at least a little bit of credit for that. I know everybody likes to kill the guy when something goes wrong.
That would have been 2 major splash plays in a 4-game span of a regular season. And really, we shouldn't even be talking about it in any negative light. This could have been something. Look, I'm not making any excuses for the Steelers being 1-3. I'm not making any excuses for them losing out there, and I'm sure that you're not either. But both things can be true, that they got hosed and they didn't play well.
Yeah. And we don't know if they get that touchdown there. We don't know what the final score of this game is.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
I mean, the Packers were moving the ball pretty much at will there for a while before they kind of slowed down in the fourth quarter and kind of took some of the air out of the ball. We don't know that the Steelers would have stopped them a bunch of times and somehow won this football game. But that's the point. We don't know.
No,
because
we don't.
And we'll never know because it didn't happen.
No, it didn't. But this game did happen, though, and the Steelers are 1-3. Coming back home anyway to face the Broncos. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, coming back home. I'm really not.
First team to 10 wins.
Oh boy. And then the refs will call it off anyway.